as a spiritual person, I'm greatly honored to be in the house of the Most High God of Abraham. Do my heart good to be around people of faith. Because one thing that a disaster teaches you very early is the importance of faith. Katrina, which is a Russian word with a root meaning of cleansing, happened August the 29th, 2005. But 5 days prior to Katrina hitting New Orleans, we knew it was on its way. We knew that this hurricane was going to hit New Orleans as a Category 4 or 5 hurricane. We waited until we knew that New Orleans was directly on its path, which was basically 2.5 days before it hit New Orleans, and we gave the evacuation orders. But we also knew that it was 150,000 people that had no means to evacuate. The year before, we gave a mock drill, Hurricane Pam. We had a scare of another hurricane, Ivy. And we knew that it was 150,000 people, basically women and children and the elderly, that had no means of leaving. We knew that this hurricane was coming, and it was coming after only 2 weeks that school had been open. And they knew that everybody that was poor had just spent everything that they was able to beg or borrow or steal on getting their kids into school. And then it happened at the end of the month. Our government assistance only lasts 2.5 weeks at best. And most people just tighten up their belt strap those last 2 days or 3 days. This is when this hurricane came. And this is when we know we had 150,000 people that was in dire need prior to the hurricane coming. And we did nothing. I want you to understand this. I want you to understand just what happened in America. On the 28th, that's the day that that hurricane deviated and spared us in New Orleans. Because if the government response would have been the same response if that hurricane had hit New Orleans, we would have lost at least 60,000 lives. That's how many people, they said, had died in New Orleans under that mock drill, Hurricane Pam. But the 28th was the 50th anniversary of the murder of Emmett Till. And I truly believe that it was his spirit that saved us. Don't get me wrong, I don't think that Mississippi was being punished. But I know if that hurricane would have hit New Orleans the way it hit Pearlington as a Category 4 hurricane, we would have lost at least 60,000 people. At least. And I'm talking about on day one of that hurricane. Yeah, you might say, well, the levees broke. But the levees broke by the wind of a Category 1 hurricane. Because we got brushed by the weakest side of Katrina. The weakest side. And that's the damage that it did. Where I live in Algiers, we had a ship, a sea-going, ocean-going freighter to run aground, along with 2 tugs to run aground on our levee. And it didn't preach. Was we blessed? Yes. We was blessed to have a levee built by us because of a Navy base. So they made sure that levee was built right. That's the blessing. But because of blatant racism, nobody cared about the levee and the night water. Even right now, they have built a whole new stretch of levees, like on this side of the street, or this side of the lower night water. Here's Florida Avenue, and all of this, the same old levee. The Army Corps of Engineers have up and gone because they made their show and dance by showing that, hey, we did here where the levee was broke. And nobody's saying that when these levees was built, we had almost 40 miles of wetlands to act as a buffer. We had a cypress forest, the cypress tree. We had a forest of cypress trees to protect us when these levees was built. Now, because of Mystico, you can see what done happened to those cypress trees. They are gone because of the saltwater influence. So that keep us at risk. That keep us at risk of being flooded. I'm saying that because of the fact that we have to move now to a more desperate stage. Because now we have people that are rebuilding on false hope. So that means they got to start building if they do have to come back. Because New Orleans is a unique city. Everywhere in the many cities, you live in a city. But in New Orleans live in the people.